Hello, boys and girls in Form 1, and today our English lesson is going to start with Unit 6 of your textbook. So, if you do not have the textbook with you, pause the video and get the textbook and also the workbook with you because we are going to use both books today. So, if you have the books with you, please go to Unit 6, which is on page 23. And you can see it's about traveling. It talks about pack your bags, and we will start looking at one of the texts there today. So if you go to page 24, you will see this page, and I'm going to go through this text with you, and you will do a very short piece of comprehension exercise. Now, we're going to talk about this place, London. Now, many of you, your pronunciation is no good. Many of you, when you say this place, well, probably you will say London, but it's not London. Well, this sound here, it's London. Un. It's like the word under. London. All right, so don't say the word wrong. It's London, not London. So let's hear the recording of this text first. We will hear the recording of paragraph 1 first.
London. London is one of the most popular destinations for tourists. Visitors flock there to enjoy its colourful markets, fabulous shopping, and cosmopolitan culture. With its many museums, galleries, theatres, etc., the capital is also well known as a centre for the arts. It's home to more than 8 million people, with 37% of this population born outside the UK. As a result, 300 different languages are spoken in London. The fourth largest ethnic group is Chinese, 1.5%. So Chinese New Year is celebrated in style, especially in Chinatown.
All right, so this is paragraph 1, and we are going to look at some difficult words, or maybe I'll take you through some vocabulary items in paragraph 1. So London is one of the most popular destinations. Now, this word may be a bit long, maybe a bit big to you, but this word, it actually means places. So London, it's one of the most popular destinations. That's actually one of the most popular places for tourists, and visitors flock there. Flock, it's actually go, but it's just another word for go. So visitors flock there or go there to enjoy its colorful markets, fabulous shopping, and what kind of culture is it? Cosmopolitan culture. Cosmopolitan, well, a long word, cos-mo-po-le-tan. 5 syllables, cosmopolitan culture. Cosmopolitan, that's actually big city. It's actually a super extra ultra hyper mega big city culture. Well, Hong Kong is a cosmopolitan, we can say. New York is a cosmopolitan. London, of course, it's another cosmopolitan. So with its many museums, galleries, theatres, the capital is also well known as a centre for the arts. It's home to more than 8 million people, with 37% of this population born outside the UK. Well, so you can see only 63% of the population were born in the UK, and it's a very international city, as you can see. As a result, well, I've highlighted green here. 300 different languages are spoken in London, and Chinese New Year is celebrated in style. I hope you still remember these kinds of sentences. We talked about these kinds of sentences a few weeks ago, and they are called passive voice. So don't forget the structure here like this. If you forgot passive voice already, go back to the videos a few weeks ago and check the video out. Try to learn passive voice again. So, we have learned some new vocabulary items here: destinations, flock, and cosmopolitan. Now, let's look at the culture of the UK and of London there. So, culture, paragraph 2. Let's look at the video.
Culture. No visit to London is complete without a walk along the river. Start at Westminster Bridge, where you'll see Westminster Abbey, the Houses of Parliament, and Big Ben. It's the name of the bell, not the tower. As you walk along the South Bank, you'll see major sites like the London Eye and Shakespeare's Globe, a reconstruction of the original Globe Theatre, first built in 1599, and famous for showing Shakespeare's plays. When you reach Tower Bridge, cross over to the Tower of London, which has many ghostly secrets. The walk is about 4 kilometers long. Museums.
Okay, so let's look at paragraph 2 about the culture. So, no visit to London is complete without a walk along the river. So, start at Westminster Bridge, and where you will see Westminster Abbey. So, what exactly is that? The Westminster Abbey? Well, in Chinese, this is called Sai Man Zi. So, Saiman, it's actually Westminster, and Abbey, well, that's actually not a temple, but it's a collection of churches. It's a church with a lot of buildings where the monks live. So we can have a look at that, Westminster Abbey. Now, if you look at the photos here, it's actually a church with a lot of buildings. It's a Christian church, so you can see monks there, and you can worship God there. So Westminster Abbey, and of course, besides Westminster Abbey, you see the Houses of Parliament. So what exactly is that? Parliament. That's actually in Chinese. So important decisions are made there. Houses of Parliament. Don't say parliament. It's not parliament, but parliament. 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 So you can also see the Big Ben. It's the name of the bell, not the tower. As you walk along the South Bank. Now, this bank, it's not about money. This bank has many, many meanings. It can be the place about money, but it also means ngon, hong on. All right. So if you walk along the South Bank, you'll see major sites like the London Eye and Shakespeare Globe. So London Eye here, it's not really an eye, but a Ferris wheel, so you can get on it and look at the landscape of London. So Shakespeare Globe. Well, Shakespeare, last week you read some literature about Shakespeare. So Shakespeare, well, go check out this person. So Shakespeare's Globe, that's a reconstruction of the original Globe Theatre, first built in 1599 and famous for showing Shakespeare's plays. Now, this word plays here, it's not that kind of play you play the basketball, you play the guitar. It's not that kind of play. But the plays here, it's similar to dramas. All right, so the shows on the stage. So when you reach Tower Bridge, cross over to the Tower of London, which has many ghostly secrets. So many ghost stories there. And the walk is about 4 kilometers long. So we've looked at some pieces of culture of London. Now let's carry on to the museum part.
All national museums in the UK offer free admission, so don't miss the British Museum, one of the world's largest museums of human history, culture and art. A highlight is the Egyptian mummies, but you'll also be amazed by the Greek statues, Japanese art and much more. On Fridays, the museum's opening hours extend until 8:30 p.m. Royal London.
So we have looked at paragraph 3 here, museums. So all national museums in the UK offer free admission. Well, this is good because when you say free admission, that means you don't have to buy any ticket to go to visit the museum. It's free of charge. You don't have to spend any money there. So don't miss the British Museum. British Museum, 大英博物館, one of the world's largest museums of human history, culture and art. So a highlight is the Egyptian mummies. Well, I guess all Form 1 students, you know this very much because it is in your Form 1 history syllabus. But you'll also be amazed by the Greek statues, Japanese art, and much more. On Fridays, which means every Friday, the museum's opening hours extend until 8:30 p.m. Extend, that means the opening hours are made longer. So usually it closes earlier, but on Fridays it closes later. But for now, because of the Chinese Wuhan coronavirus, the museum is closed. So you can actually go online and search for a virtual tour to visit the museum. So we've looked at the museum part of London, and let's carry on to the most interesting part to me, which is the Royal London. So let's hear the recording.
You might not see the Queen when you visit London, but you may be able to get tickets to go inside Buckingham Palace and admire the opulent interior. Another spectacle not to be missed is the changing of the guard. Check the schedule to avoid disappointment. The Queen splits most of her time between Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, and her country home in Balmoral, Scotland. You'll know she's at home if the Royal Standard is flying. If she isn't, the Union Jack is raised. Shopping.
So, Royal London, royal, this word, it's actually the king's or the queen's family. 皇室. All right, so Royal London, you might not see the Queen when you visit London, but you may be able to get tickets to go inside Buckingham Palace. Now, this is in Chinese, 白金漢宮, right? Buckingham. Now, the H here, it's actually silent. So it's not Buckingham, but it's Buckingham. Buckingham. Okay, so this is no place. It is no place. It is palace. 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 So it's the place where the king or queen lives. So Buckingham Palace. And admire the opulent interior. Admire, that is to 欣賞, okay, to appreciate. To appreciate, to see it, to watch it, to like it. The opulent. Opulent, if you say something is opulent, that is super rich, super nice, and luxurious. And you know this word, actually. Luxurious. Opulent interior. Interior, that's actually the inside of a place. The interior. And another spectacle, well, spectacle, that's actually performance. 表演. So another spectacle not to be missed is the changing of the guard. Now, the Queen has a lot of guards. So these are her guards, and they take turns to guard the palace. So sometimes you can see the changing of the guard at the Buckingham Palace. So check the schedule to avoid disappointment. And you can see two flags here. Now, this is on the left, this is the Union Jack, and you can say it is the national flag of the United Kingdom, and the name of it is called the Union Jack. And the one on the right, we call it the Royal Standard. Now, here standard has a lot of meanings, but here it means a flag. So this is the royal flag, the flag which represents the Queen or the King of the United Kingdom, Royal Standard. So the Queen has a lot of places to live. So the Queen splits most of the time between Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, and her country home in Balmoral, Scotland. So the Queen actually at least has 3 homes. You know she's at home if the Royal Standard is flying. If she isn't, the Union Jack is raised. So sometimes if the Queen is living in Buckingham Palace, you can see the flag on the right. But if the Queen is not at the Buckingham Palace, you see the flag on the left, Union Jack. So this is for page 24, and please carry on to page 25. There we go. We are going to talk about the shopping side of London.
Oxford Street is Europe's busiest shopping street. 500,000 shoppers visit daily. Another shopping hotspot is Harrods in Knightsbridge. It's London's largest and most famous department store. With 90,000 square meters of floor space and 330 departments, you can buy everything you could possibly want, from a sandwich to a luxury yacht. London has many lively markets, and Camden Market is the biggest and the best. Don't arrive before 10 a.m. though, because life in Camden Town starts slow and easy. You'll be amazed by the wide range of items on sale, and food from around the world, like Mexican nachos and kangaroo burgers. It's London's 4th most popular attraction, and best at the weekend, if you don't mind the crowds.
So the shopping side of London, now we can see it talks about Oxford Street. Now Oxford, it's actually... Now, John, well, there is an Oxford University in the United Kingdom. It's near London, not exactly in London, but it's near London. But in London, you see the street Oxford Street. So Oxford Street is Europe's busiest shopping street. 500,000 shoppers visit daily. Another shopping hotspot is Harrods. And it's in Knightsbridge. It's London's largest and most famous department store. Now, department store, what's that? In Hong Kong, Sogo, it's a department store. Yata, that's a department store. So department store in Chinese, it's actually Ba Fo Gong Si. So with 90,000 square meters of floor space and 330 departments, you can buy everything you could possibly want, from a sandwich to a luxury yacht. Now, yacht, this is, well, let me show you a picture of that. It's a kind of boat or ship which looks like this, Yao Tang. So, I want you to pay extra attention on the pronunciation of this word. This is not yacht, but this is yacht. Yacht. Okay, just like Y-O-T, yacht. Okay, you should pronounce the word like this. So continue to paragraph 6. London has many lively markets, and Camden Market is the biggest and the best. Don't arrive before 10 a.m. though, because life in Camden Town starts slow and easy. Well, people get up late there, so you don't go there before 10 a.m. So, just like many of you, I believe that many of you, you do not get up until 10 a.m. And you'll be amazed by the wide range of items on sale. Now, wide range of, that means a lot of. That means there are many, many different kinds of items on sale. And food from around the world, like Mexican nachos and kangaroo burgers. Now, Mexican nachos, hard to explain what it is, but we can have a look at some pictures. Well, nachos, well, they look something like this. It's deep fried, and people usually have it with beer. Nachos, something like this. And kangaroo burgers, well, nachos, let's underline this first. And kangaroo burgers, now, in case you don't know what kangaroos are, again, let me show you a picture of that. Kangaroo. So they have burgers made of kangaroo's meat. Well, I believe it is a little bit disgusting, and I myself won't eat any kangaroo burgers. And so it's the Camden Market. It's London's fourth most popular attraction. Attraction, again, it's actually just a place. So it's London's fourth most popular attraction and best at the weekend, if you don't mind the crowds, because there are way too many people at weekends in Camden Market. So let's also have a look at this paragraph.
The best of central London in a day. Yippee! I'm exploring London today. Wake up and treat yourself to a full English breakfast of bacon, sausages, eggs, tomatoes, mushrooms, baked beans, toast, and of course, a cup of tea. British people just love tea. Take the tube to Piccadilly Circus. When a place is really busy and crowded, the Brits say it's like Piccadilly Circus. You're going to see why here. Piccadilly Circus is a great place to start your tour, as it's within walking distance of many sites. From Piccadilly Circus, walk to Trafalgar Square, take photos of the fountains there near Nelson's Column, and visit the National Gallery. It opens at 10 a.m., where you'll find many world-famous paintings. Afterwards, have lunch in Chinatown. Then, head to Oxford Street for some shopping. In the evening, enjoy a show in the theatre district on Shaftesbury Avenue.
So it's a tour in London in a day, and it is suggested that you should wake up and treat yourself to a full English breakfast of bacon. Well, full English breakfast. Now, it is a kind of breakfast, and you can go Google for this kind of breakfast. You get bacon, sausages, eggs, tomatoes, mushrooms, baked beans, toast, and a cup of tea there. So it's quite a rich breakfast, and it's sometimes some restaurants they offer full day English breakfast, which means even at dinner time you can still enjoy a full English breakfast at the restaurant. So you can also take the tube. Now, tube, it's actually the MTR. In Hong Kong, we call that MTR, but in London, we call that the underground, or we call that the tube. So it's actually the trains underground. So take the tube to Piccadilly Circus, where a place is. When a place is really busy and crowded, the Brits actually, Brits that means the British people. But in short, they say Brits. So the Brits say it's like Piccadilly Circus. You're going to see why here. Piccadilly Circus is a great place to start your tour as it's within walking distance of many sites. That means if you start your journey from Piccadilly Circuit, then you can travel to many places or tourist attractions within some short walking distance. From Piccadilly Circus, walk to Trafalgar Square, take photos of the fountains. If you don't know what fountains are, let's Google fountains. Well, they are something like this. So take photos of the fountains there near Nelson's Column and visit the National Gallery. It opens at 10 a.m., where you'll find many world-famous paintings and afterwards have lunch in Chinatown. Well, personally, I don't know why when we go to the UK we still have lunch in Chinatown. We should have enough Chinese food in Hong Kong already. Then head to Oxford Street for some shopping. If you still remember Oxford Street, we just talked about this. There, it's about shopping, it's about markets. So in the evening, enjoy a show in a theatre district on Shaftesbury Avenue. It's a place in London again. So below, it's a map. It's a brief map of London, and let's hear how we say the names of these places.
The London Underground train system is called the Tube. British Museum, Oxford Circus, Oxford Street, Piccadilly Circus, Shaftesbury Avenue, Leicester Square, Chinatown, Covent Garden, Royal Opera House, Charing Cross, Trafalgar Square, the National Gallery, Westminster, Downing Street, Buckingham Palace, Westminster Abbey, Houses of Parliament, Big Ben, Westminster Bridge, Waterloo, London Eye, Waterloo Bridge, River Thames, South Bank, Blackfriars Bridge, Millennium Bridge, London Bridge, Tower Bridge, Shakespeare's Globe, London Bridge, Tower of London, St. Paul's Cathedral.
So that's it for these two pages, page 24 and page 25. Now, you should carry on to page 26 and page 27. Now, read the two pages of page 24 and page 25, and you do the comprehension exercise on page 26 and 27.